He was 69 years old, a retired firefighter, and he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Doc, I thought the days of waking up with morning wood were gone until this strange ginger drink brought it back." I've treated thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even into their 80s. And I'm telling you, what we've been taught about aging and performance is only half the truth. My name is Dr. Mohit Khera. I've been helping men restore vitality, testosterone, and bedroom confidence for over 30 years. I'm a medical doctor, a researcher, and I specialize in what really works for the aging male body. And today, I want to share something that I believe every man over 60 deserves to know, because most never hear it from their regular doctor. What if I told you that one simple ginger-based drink found in your kitchen holds the key to improving not just your blood flow, but also your testosterone, sensitivity, stamina, and prostate health all at once? In this video, I'm going to show you 10 science-backed benefits of this unique ginger mix, benefits that most men have never heard about, but that could radically change the way you perform and feel as you age. And near the end, I'll reveal the one key ingredient that supercharges ginger's effects, and how to combine them the right way for real results. Before we dive in, if you care about restoring your energy, circulation, and performance naturally after 60, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another video made specifically for men like you. And if you find this helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0, so I can keep improving and give you exactly what you need. All right, let's get into it. Starting with the very first benefit of this powerful ginger mix. And it's the one every man over 60 needs the most. It helps open up the blood vessels in your penis, naturally boosting blood flow where it matters most. 1. Opens blood vessels in the penis, vasodilation. I still remember a patient named George, 66 years old, quiet, proud, former Navy man. He came into my office embarrassed, saying he hadn't felt a real, full erection in years. He'd tried pills, pumps, you name it, but nothing felt natural. Nothing felt like him. That's when I introduced him to this ginger-based drink. Not a miracle cure, not a gimmick, just something grounded in real science and consistent daily use. What happened surprised even him. Within a couple of weeks, he came back, leaned in, and whispered with a smile, "Doc, I woke up with it. On my own." That may sound like a small thing, but to a man who'd almost given up, it was a turning point. You see, the compounds in ginger, particularly gingerols, activate nitric oxide production in the body. Nitric oxide is what tells your blood vessels to relax and expand. It's the very same pathway that drugs like Viagra target. But here's the difference. Ginger supports this system naturally, from the inside out. It doesn't force an erection. It helps your body restore the ability to have one on its own. As we age, the lining of our blood vessels, especially in the penis, starts to harden. Blood flow gets restricted, but ginger has been shown to improve endothelial function. That's the inner lining of those vessels, helping them become more responsive again. And when you combine it with warmth, like hot water or tea, it penetrates faster, almost like waking up the circulatory system from the inside. It's not about instant results. It's about progress. Feeling the body respond again, feeling circulation improve naturally, and regaining control without chemicals. Men tell me they start to feel warmth in their lower body, a subtle surge of confidence returning, not just in the bedroom, but throughout their day. And that's just the first benefit. Because as powerful as improved blood flow is, it's only part of the equation. If your testosterone is low, and most men over 60 have no idea how low theirs is, then even perfect blood flow won't be enough. That's why the next benefit of this ginger mix is so critical and often completely overlooked. Let me show you what it does to your hormones. 2. Boosts natural testosterone production. Now let's talk about something most men don't even realize is slipping away until it's almost gone: testosterone. I can't tell you how many times I've seen men in their 60s and 70s come into my clinic saying they just don't feel like themselves anymore. Not just in the bedroom, but in their energy, motivation, even their outlook on life. And 9 times out of 10, when we check their labs, their testosterone is well below optimal. One man in particular, Harold, age 72, stands out. He told me, "Doc, it's like I'm fading. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm just not me anymore." That quiet resignation is heartbreaking, because what most men don't know is that testosterone doesn't just drop off a cliff. It drains slowly, year after year, and the symptoms become so familiar they start to feel normal, but they're not. And here's where ginger comes back into the picture. Ginger has been shown in multiple studies to naturally stimulate the production of luteinizing hormone, a signal from your brain that tells your testes, "Hey, it's time to make more testosterone." In one clinical study, older men who consumed ginger daily saw testosterone levels rise by up to 17%. That may not sound dramatic, but in the world of hormones, that's the difference between dragging through your day and feeling alive again. What makes ginger special is that it doesn't artificially flood your system. It supports the body's own rhythm, helping restore what time and stress have worn down. Many of my patients notice subtle shifts within weeks: stronger morning erections, a sharper mind, fewer dips in mood, and a drive to move, act, and reconnect. Harold? After 3 months of using the ginger mix, he walked into my office with color in his face, energy in his step, and a simple sentence I'll never forget: "I feel like a man again." But this mix isn't just boosting hormones and blood flow. There's another silent enemy that creeps in as we age: inflammation. It attacks the very tissues responsible for healthy erections, and most men don't even know it's happening. What if I told you this ginger mix could actually help reverse that damage from the inside out? Let's talk about that next. 3. Reduces inflammation in erectile tissues. There's something I wish more men understood. Erectile dysfunction isn't always about blood flow or hormones alone. Sometimes the real culprit is silent, invisible, and working against you every single day. It's called chronic inflammation. And if you're over 60, it's probably already affecting you, whether you feel it or not. I remember one patient, Robert, a 70-year-old retired school principal. He told me, "Doc, I eat right, I walk every morning, but it still feels like I've lost something. And I don't know why." He wasn't overweight, his blood pressure looked decent, and yet he still struggled with weak, short-lasting erections. When we ran deeper tests, we found signs of systemic inflammation, the kind that clogs arteries, irritates tissues, and silently damages the very structure of the penis over time. What shocked him, and what surprises many of my patients, is how powerfully ginger helps reduce this type of inflammation. It contains bioactive compounds like gingerol and shogaol, which act almost like natural ibuprofen, calming the body's internal fire. But unlike over-the-counter anti-inflammatories, ginger doesn't just mask the problem, it works deeper, reducing oxidative stress and protecting the sensitive lining of your blood vessels and erectile tissue. When those tissues are inflamed, blood has a harder time reaching the penis, and even if it gets there, the tissue may be too irritated or stiff to respond. That's why reducing inflammation is one of the most overlooked keys to restoring natural performance. With daily use, this ginger mix helps create a more receptive, relaxed environment in the body, not just for intimacy, but for overall wellness. Robert called me after 2 months and said something I hear more often than you'd think. "I didn't just notice it in the bedroom. My joints felt better, my gut stopped bothering me, and I just felt lighter." And that's the beautiful thing about working with natural compounds like this. They don't just fix one thing, they lift the whole system. But performance isn't just about structure and flow, it's also about sensation. And for many men over 60, there's a frustrating numbness that sets in over time. What if this same ginger mix could help bring that feeling back again? Let's talk about that next. 4. Enhances nerve sensitivity and pleasure. One of the most difficult things for a man to admit isn't just that his erections have changed, it's that they no longer feel the same. Over the years, I've had countless men in their 60s and 70s tell me quietly, almost like they were ashamed, "Doc, even when I can get it up, I barely feel anything." That loss of sensation, of connection, is something no pill can fix, but it's real, and it can steal away not just pleasure, but confidence, identity, and closeness with the person you love. I'll never forget Thomas, 68 years old, a retired engineer. He told me his wife was patient and understanding, but inside, he felt like he was failing her. Not just physically, but emotionally. That numbness had become his new normal. But here's the thing. Sensation doesn't disappear overnight. It fades slowly, mostly due to reduced blood flow and nerve response. And in many cases, it can be revived. What most men don't realize is that ginger has shown promise in helping restore that connection. Ginger improves microcirculation, meaning it helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to even the smallest blood vessels, including those surrounding the sensory nerves in the penis. And those same compounds we've talked about, gingerols, shogols, also support healthy nerve function by reducing oxidative damage and inflammation around those nerves. When the nerves get proper blood supply again, something remarkable can happen. The tingling, the warmth, the response you thought was gone can slowly begin to return, not overnight and not magically, but over time, like a light turning back on. Thomas told me something just a few weeks into using the ginger mix. It's not just working, I'm starting to feel things again. And that's what makes this journey worth it, because sexual health isn't just about performance, it's about presence. And when a man feels again, he lives again. But there's another piece to this puzzle, one that sits quietly in the background for most men until it starts causing real trouble. I'm talking about the prostate. It plays a bigger role in your sexual health than most men realize, and this ginger mix may be doing more for it than you think. Let's take a closer look. 5. Improves prostate function. For many men over 60, the prostate becomes a silent source of frustration until it starts shouting. Whether it's getting up 2 or 3 times a night to pee, that slow stream that feels like it takes forever, or the subtle pressure that never quite goes away. These symptoms often creep in gradually, but behind them is a gland that's inflamed, swollen, and no longer working the way it used to. I remember James, a 71-year-old veteran who came to see me not for sexual concerns at first, but because he was tired of feeling like he couldn't empty his bladder. He felt embarrassed during road trips, always looking for the next restroom. What really struck me was when he said, "Doc, I don't even feel like a man anymore." That broke my heart, because for so many men, prostate issues start out as a minor inconvenience. But over time, they chip away at dignity, freedom, and intimacy. The good news is that the same ginger mix we've been talking about doesn't just help with blood flow or nerves, it also plays a supportive role in prostate health. Ginger has been studied for its ability to reduce inflammation in the prostate gland. In fact, some research shows that it can slow the growth of prostate cells and even help protect against abnormal enlargement. For men with benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, this is big news. When inflammation in the prostate goes down, 2 important things happen. Urination improves, and the pressure on the surrounding nerves and pelvic vessels decreases, which can directly impact your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. It's all connected. After a few weeks on the ginger mix, James told me, "I sleep through the night now, and I'm starting to feel like myself again." He smiled in that quiet, proud way men do when something is working, but they don't want to make a big fuss about it. That's the power of healing from the inside out. But there's another unexpected shift that many men report, and it has everything to do with your body's most personal measure of vitality. What if I told you this simple drink could also boost semen volume and even improve sperm health? Let's talk about that next. 6. Enhances sperm health and semen volume. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Why would a man over 60 care about sperm health or semen volume? You're probably not trying to have more kids. But let me tell you something I've seen over and over again in my practice. When a man's semen volume starts to shrink, when climax becomes weak or barely noticeable, it often signals something deeper. It's not just about fertility. It's a reflection of your vitality, your hormonal health, and your body's overall performance. I had a patient named Alan, 67, retired postal worker. He came in with concerns about energy and intimacy, and almost as an afterthought, he mentioned that things just feel less intense. He wasn't sure how to explain it, but he knew something was missing. What he was really describing was the loss of that strong, satisfying release, that sense of completion that once made intimacy deeply fulfilling, and that often ties directly to semen production. Here's where ginger comes in again. Studies show that ginger can significantly improve several key markers of male reproductive health: sperm count, motility, and semen volume. It's rich in antioxidants that protect the cells in your reproductive system, and it helps stimulate the body's production of key nutrients like zinc and testosterone, both essential for semen quality. But there's something even more important. When semen production improves, many men report a stronger, more powerful climax. That sense of pressure, release, and satisfaction comes back. And no, it's not just psychological, it's biological. Ginger helps restore the foundation that supports that experience. Alan came back to see me after about 6 weeks on the ginger mix. He didn't say much at first, just a nod, a smile, and then, whatever's in that drink, it's working. That's the kind of quiet confidence that matters. And here's the thing. This mix doesn't just improve what happens during intimacy. It also strengthens the system behind it, your heart. Because no matter how strong your drive or hormone levels are, if your heart can't support healthy blood flow, everything else suffers. What if I told you that this ginger mix could actually protect your heart, and by doing so, power up your performance in ways most men never expect? That's what we'll get into next. 7. Supports cardiovascular health, which directly impacts erections. One of the most important truths I try to teach every man I work with is this: your erection is only as strong as your heart. I know that sounds simple, but most guys don't make the connection until it's too late. The reality is, your heart and your penis are part of the same cardiovascular system. If your arteries are stiff, blocked, or underperforming, it's going to show up down there long before you ever feel chest pain. I remember one patient. His name was Carl, 73, soft-spoken, a retired mechanic. He came in for ED issues, never had any complaints about chest pain or high blood pressure. But when we dug deeper, we found signs of early-stage heart disease. He said, "You're telling me my performance problems are coming from my heart?" And I said, "Yes, exactly." That's how connected these systems really are. Now, what's incredible about ginger is how it supports the heart in multiple ways. It helps thin the blood just enough to improve circulation without overdoing it. It reduces harmful cholesterol, and it improves the flexibility of blood vessels, especially important as we age. These effects directly impact your ability to get and maintain a firm erection, because the better your blood moves through your system, the better it gets where it needs to go. Ginger also helps reduce blood pressure naturally, especially when used regularly. For men like Carl, this meant not just stronger performance, but fewer medications, better sleep, and less anxiety. He told me, "Doc, I didn't expect this little drink to help my whole body, but I feel clearer, lighter, even younger." That's what real health feels like. Not just fixing one thing, but improving how your whole system works together. And the benefits of this mix don't stop with your heart, because there's another hidden cause of poor performance that most men don't see coming. Something that drains energy, wrecks your mood, and slowly weakens your desire. And chances are, it's hiding in your bloodstream right now. Let's take a closer look at how this ginger mix helps restore your natural energy and stamina without caffeine, pills, or crash diets. 8. Boosts energy and stamina. One of the most common things I hear from my older male patients isn't just, "Doc, I can't perform like I used to." It's deeper than that. It's, "I'm tired all the time. I don't feel like myself." And it's heartbreaking, because most of these men aren't lazy, unmotivated, or depressed. They're simply running on an empty tank, and they don't know why. I remember Raymond, a 69-year-old former contractor, sitting across from me and saying, "Even when I want to be close to my wife, I just feel drained. It's not that I don't care, it's that I have nothing left to give." That kind of fatigue doesn't just affect intimacy, it affects a man's spirit. And that's exactly why this next benefit of the ginger mix is so important. Ginger works on a deeper level than caffeine or energy drinks. Instead of spiking your system and crashing it later, ginger helps fuel your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells. These are what power everything from movement to memory to sexual performance. When the mitochondria are underperforming, so are you. But ginger, with its natural antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, helps wake them back up. This leads to something my patients describe as clean energy. Not jittery, not artificial, just a steady return of strength throughout the day. Many men report that they start feeling more alert in the morning, less sluggish after meals, and more present during moments of intimacy. Raymond, after 3 weeks on the ginger mix, told me, "I didn't realize how tired I was, until I wasn't anymore." When your energy returns, so does your drive, your will to move, to act, to connect. That's the foundation of stamina, and it's what allows men to truly enjoy the moments they thought were behind them. But as powerful as energy is, there's one more invisible enemy that steals erections from older men, and it does it slowly, quietly, every single day. I'm talking about blood sugar. Even slightly elevated levels can wreak havoc on your ability to perform. And the worst part? Most men don't even know it's happening. Let's talk about how this ginger mix can help you take back control before it's too late. 9. Balances blood sugar, a silent killer of erections. There's something I see far too often in my practice. Men in their 60s or 70s, frustrated with their performance, blaming age or stress, when the real issue is something they haven't even thought to look at: blood sugar. It doesn't matter if they're not diabetic or even pre-diabetic. Sometimes just slightly elevated levels their regular doctor may not even flag, are enough to interfere with blood flow, nerve function, and hormonal balance. I had a patient named Leo, 66, who came in convinced his issue was just low testosterone. But when we looked deeper, we found that his blood sugar was riding just a little high, nothing extreme, but enough to cause damage over time. What shocked him wasn't that it was affecting his erections. It was that it had been doing so silently for years. High blood sugar stiffens blood vessels, narrows capillaries, and damages the sensitive nerves responsible for both arousal and climax. It's like trying to drive a high-performance car through a narrow, bumpy alley. And what's worse is that most men don't feel it happening until the effects have already taken hold. That's where ginger comes in as a powerful ally. Ginger has been shown to help regulate blood sugar levels by improving insulin sensitivity and reducing the kind of low-grade inflammation that worsens metabolic health. In simple terms, it helps your body handle sugar better and keeps those fragile blood vessels and nerves healthier, longer. Leo started drinking the ginger mix daily. About a month later, he told me, "I didn't realize how foggy I'd been. I feel sharper, clearer, and things are starting to work again." That's the kind of quiet transformation I see again and again. Because when your blood sugar is balanced, everything else starts to function better, from your brain to your circulation to your bedroom performance. And when you combine that with all the other benefits we've talked about so far, you start to feel like you're finally working with your body again, not against it. But there's still one more piece to this puzzle. One last benefit that most men completely overlook. Yet, it could be the single most powerful factor in restoring not just your performance, but your desire, and it has everything to do with how you handle stress. Let's finish strong with that. 10. Combats stress hormones that kill your libido. Now, if there's one thing I've learned after more than 3 decades of helping men over 60 reclaim their health, it's this. You can have decent blood flow, balanced hormones, even energy in the tank. But if your stress levels are out of control, your desire disappears. Not because you don't care, not because you don't want to connect, but because your brain and body are stuck in survival mode, not intimacy. Stress is like a silent thief. It steals your focus, your motivation, and yes, your libido. And the hormone behind it all is cortisol. When cortisol stays elevated, it suppresses testosterone, blocks the signals that trigger arousal, and keeps your nervous system locked in a state of tension. It's no wonder so many men feel disconnected from themselves and their partners, even when everything else seems fine on the surface. I remember Patrick, 74, who came to me not with physical complaints, but with a quiet sadness. He said, "Doc, I don't feel close to my wife anymore. I don't get excited. It's like something's shut off." We talked for a long time, and what we discovered wasn't a blood flow problem. It was stress. Years of bottled up pressure, responsibility, and worry had slowly drained his spark. This is where ginger surprised even me. Beyond its physical benefits, ginger has been shown to lower cortisol levels and increase dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. It helps calm the body while lifting mood and mental clarity. It's subtle, but powerful, and when used daily, it can help shift your system back into a state where desire can return naturally, without force, without pressure. A few weeks after starting the ginger mix, Patrick sent me a short message. "We held hands last night. I wanted to. I felt something again." That's the kind of shift that no pill can promise. That's what real healing looks like, when desire doesn't have to be forced. It simply comes back. And that's just one piece of what this simple, natural mix can offer. You've now seen all the 10 benefits, backed by science, shaped by real stories, and designed to help you feel like yourself again. But we're not done yet. In the final section, I'm going to show you exactly how to prepare this mix, how often to take it, and one key mistake most men make that can sabotage its effects. Let's bring it all together. Conclusion. So, let's bring it all together. 10 powerful, natural benefits packed into one simple ginger mix that most men over 60 have never even heard about. And yet, each one speaks directly to the things we silently struggle with as we age. Weakened blood flow, falling testosterone, inflammation that slowly dulls sensation, a prostate that interrupts our nights, a heart that's not as strong as it once was, and a kind of quiet fatigue that creeps into our days without warning. But through it all, this mix offers something rare: relief without side effects, restoration without prescriptions, and results that come from working with your body, not against it. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen men walk into my office feeling disconnected, discouraged, and frankly, a little ashamed. And weeks later, I've seen those same men light up with renewed energy, confidence, and a simple but powerful realization: I'm not broken, I just needed the right support. This mix of fresh ginger, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and a teaspoon of raw honey, taken in warm water once a day, may seem too simple to be effective, but simplicity is often where nature hides its strength. Ginger opens blood vessels. It boosts testosterone. It soothes inflamed tissues. It wakes up sensation, supports the prostate, strengthens the heart, fuels your energy, stabilizes blood sugar, and calms the stress hormones that chip away at desire. These aren't just numbers on a lab report. They're the building blocks of intimacy, of confidence, of feeling like yourself again. They're the difference between showing up half-heartedly and showing up fully present, proud, and connected. And if there's one thing I want every man watching this to take away, it's this: aging doesn't mean surrender. It means adjusting, learning, and leaning into what actually works. You still have strength, fire, and purpose left in you. And sometimes, all it takes is one small, consistent change, like this ginger mix, to unlock what's been there all along. Give it a try. Give yourself a chance, because you're not done yet. Not even close. If this video resonated with you, if even one of these 10 benefits made you pause and think, yeah, that sounds like something I need, then I want to ask you to do something simple, but meaningful. Please take a moment to click that like button. It might seem small, but when you hit like, it tells YouTube this is content worth showing to other men. Men who, just like you, might be silently struggling, looking for answers, and not sure where to turn. That one click could be the reason someone else discovers something that changes their health, their marriage, or their confidence for the better. And if you believe in sharing things that truly help, not gimmicks, not hype, but real, natural solutions backed by experience and science, then I'd be honored if you'd share this video with someone in your life. A brother, a friend, a father, a husband. We don't talk enough about men's health, especially after 60, but we should, because this chapter of life still matters. And there is still so much good waiting to be felt, lived, and shared. I also want to hear from you. I mean it. Leave a comment below, just a simple 1 if you found this helpful. Or tell me which benefit surprised you the most. Or, if you've tried the ginger mix before, share your experience. Your comment might be the encouragement another man needs to finally take that first step toward reclaiming his health. And for those of you who've been following my content and want to go a step further, if you'd like to help support this mission to bring honest, effective men's health advice to more people, I humbly invite you to consider donating. Whether it's $1 or $10, your support helps keep this channel alive, ad-free, and focused on helping real men live better lives. Every dollar goes toward research, production, and expanding this message to the people who need it most. You'll find a donation link in the description below, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for even considering it. It means more than you know. So don't forget, like the video, share it with someone you care about, leave a comment, and if you're able, support the channel. Every little bit keeps this work going. And most importantly, take action on what you've learned today, because knowledge without action doesn't change anything. But one small decision, done consistently, can change everything. You're worth it. You're not done. Let's keep moving forward together.